Today we are here for learning about F5 LTM, right? When we are saying F5 is a vendor and F5 Networks is a company name, bit like you people are working in the networking, like Cisco is the big giant, okay? Palo Alto Networks in the security. Similarly, we have F5 Networks, a company. Okay, I am muting you, everybody, so that there is no background noise. If you want, you can unmute yourself and you can speak if there is any question. Now, when we are talking about F5, I told you this is an organization or a company. When we are talking about LTM, what is this? So every company has their own products. Like Cisco has name in the wireless also, right? Cisco work in the data center also. Cisco work into the LAN also, WAN also. There is lot of portfolio for the products. Similarly, if we talk about F5, there is a module named as Big IP. Okay, and in this Big IP, we have multiple of modules like LTM, like GTM, like ASM, and lot of others modules are available. Okay. Now, what are these modules? If you will ask me, this module is the basic module. You can say a bit like base for your pizza. Okay, and on the top you can add any of the seasoning or probably depending upon the customer choice. So LTM is the very basic module, I would say. Okay, LTM stands for Local Traffic Manager. Let me write down over here. It is Local Traffic Manager. So this is your local traffic manager, which helps you to deliver your application maybe in a more reliable form, more secure form, and more optimized way. How probably I would be keeping you giving that kind of insight throughout our session today. This is one thing. Now, LTM is also named as ADC, Application Delivery Controller. Okay. So people used to say that LTM is a load balancer, which is a half truth. LTM is not only a load balancer, but it does a way more than a typical load balancer do. Okay. Before moving ahead, I forget to ask one question. Every one of you wanted to keep this session in English, or if everyone is okay with Hindi, I can convert this session in Hindi as well.
No, I think I'm not comfortable with Hindi.
Okay, got it. So let it be continue in English. Sorry, I just thought that okay, if you people are knows Hindi, maybe we can continue in Hindi. Okay, it's okay. So I was talking about LTM, right? So it give you the extensibility, the flexibility of your application services. With you can manage it on your physical network, maybe on premises, you can say, on the virtual network or the cloud network as well. When I'm saying virtual, maybe Hyper 1, Hyper 2, whatever kind of stuff you have. So you can run this LTM unit on all of the three ways. Okay. Let me come to the second page. Now, when I am speaking about the LTM, before beginning it, I would like to, oh, there is one more person I can see. Maybe I got dropped and joining again. Okay. So before we are starting in, I hope you guys are aware about TCP, right? Every one of you are having a good experience. I know you have you have heard about TCP and you are working on TCP and you are working on some of the devices which are like dealing with the TCP applications. So TCP is bit like your SYN, SYNAC, and ACK. Am I correct? This is the three-way handshake of the TCP. Yes or no? Please be interactive.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, go ahead. Someone wanted to say something? No? Okay. So how it works? If there is a client, there is a server. what happened between them is this client will send a SYN packet. Okay. This will say, okay, acknowledge. And then it will say SYN packet. And then it will say acknowledge. Once this stateful stuff is done, then it is saying like that, okay, TCP is connection oriented. But in the RFC, instead of sending these two packets differently or separately, we are sending it in a combined form. And that is the reason we say that there are only three packets: SYN, SYNAC, and ACK. Okay. Earlier, maybe if you will try to understand, these are the four. Okay. But in the same second packet, we are sending SYN and ACK both. Now, why I am touching TCP part here? And the reason is F5 is providing, because this vendor is claiming that they are providing something named as TCP Express. Now, what is this TCP Express? TCP Express means F5 has built their own TCP IP stack, and they coined the term named as TCP Express, which combinedly cutting the edge of TCP IP maybe legacy techniques and improve the RFC with the numerous improvements. Okay, so they have built in number of improvements in the legacy RFC of TCP IP, and they claim that their product, if we talk about the legacy TCP IP and the F5, they claim it is more than 5% increased, or maybe the buffer size is increased. Latency, it detects very much easily. For the low speed WAN, it detects the client speed and estimate the bandwidth to limit the packet loss and recovery. So they are providing a lot of things in the background. And TCP Express means whatever TCP application you are running, it would be much faster than the any other product. One thing. Okay. I hope this is clear. If anybody has any question, please ask. Feel free to ask.
So what changes exactly in this like a TCP Express they have done?
Lot of changes. I can provide you the changes list if you want to read about more. But as I told you, that for high speed LAN, okay, what they did is they expand the buffer. Couple of changes I am telling you. Okay, expand the buffer size and detect how latency to be managed in terms of congestion. Let us say for low speed WAN, because WAN is always having low speed, they detect the client speed and estimate the bandwidth to limit the packets. A lot of other, maybe I would say tons of improvement they have provided in the TCP IP stack. And not only this, even they challenge or they suggested to the people who was writing down the RFC of the TCP IP.
So now this like TCP Express is the proprietary of F5, or like other
Yes.
vendors are also
Yes.
using it open standard?
It's proprietary to F5.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So if we talk about the second main part, that is their TMOS architecture. And maybe I can say it is a full proxy design. Anybody who will tell me what is full proxy in a general term? What is full proxy?
It's like a forward and reverse proxy both clubbed together.
That's true. That's true. So if we have the forward and reverse proxy both together, a single device is doing such a work, it means it is acting as a full proxy. Now I am talking about TMOS. What is this TMOS? Let me first talk about TMOS, then I would be gonna come.
No, what is full proxy? Can you just come back again?
Yes, Amin. Just a minute. I will explain about it. So I was saying TMOS. TMOS means traffic management operating system. Okay. This is an operating system introduced by your F5 in all of the modules. If you say LTM TMOS, GTM TMOS, ASM TMOS. LTM also named as ADC, as I told you, Application Delivery Controller. GTM new name is DNS. Okay, GTM was legacy name. ASM new name is Advanced Web. Okay, so these were legacy name, but still people used to interchange this term for the simplicity sake. Okay, so TMOS is an software, you can say, or maybe you can say operating system, which your F5 networks, whatever device it is, physical, virtual, or maybe on the cloud, it run on the TMOS. Behind it is Linux or Unix also only, okay, as Cisco is using, Palo Alto is using, or whatever device is using. But yeah, it is building up their own operating system, which is TMOS. Now, Samir, I hope you was asking what is full proxy?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, what is proxy? Proxy, if you talk about the forward proxy, okay, what forward proxy does? Like there you have an organization, there are a number of clients, and these clients need to go to the internet. You cannot expose or you cannot provide the public IP to your client for reaching out to the internet. So there is some device, okay, which will does the netting and all of the stuff. You people are already aware. If no, please do let me know. I will explain about the same as well. So if it is going to the server, let us say there is a server. Okay, this server is directly accessible. If there is a server and your clients are going there, it will be taking as the netted IP, right? It would be PAT on the form of the ports. So such kind of thing is named as forward proxy. This is acting as a forward proxy. Clear? Yes or no? This part clear?
No, no, no. I'm still not clear.
So proxy means what? Proxy means hiding the true identity. So in this case, if you see, it is hiding the identity of the client and sending some public IP instead of the private IP. It is hiding your private IP of your organization. It can be public to public translation, but we will not go to that conversation. Just for the sake of simplicity, it is hiding
No, no.
your
See,
private.
NAT
Yeah.
I know. NAT, what, see, what, how NAT works, that I know.
Hmm.
But when you say full proxy, so I mean, see,
I am coming to the proxy, but currently I am explaining about forward proxy. Is the forward proxy clear to you? This is forward proxy. Is it okay for you?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, just reversing this diagram. There is a client. This client is coming from the internet. Now, server is also hiding its identity. And we are placing any other device, maybe firewall, maybe whatever device, which is doing netting again. Okay, here. This time, when traffic is coming to your organization, this device is acting as reverse proxy. Is this part also clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, when we come to the full proxy means a device, a single device, which can act as a forward proxy and reverse proxy both. That is a full proxy. And what I was saying, that your LTM is full proxy device. Okay.
Okay.
Now let me show you. Let me show you through the diagram. Probably it will make more sense to you guys. Okay. See, basically how there is your client. This client is coming through internet. Okay. Over the internet, it is your data center. Under your data center, there can be n number of devices, maybe a firewall, maybe a router or whatever. And pose that, let us say there is a server. There is a server. And that is how your traffic will flow. There is HTTP, GET request is coming, and it is sending the response. But as and when our clients are getting increased, we cannot go with single server. We need to have more than one server. In that case, scenario will be little bit different, that whenever client is coming, instead of my single data center, instead of my single server in the data center, I would be having one more device in between, that is load balancer, which will load balance my server traffic. Correct? Okay. Now, when it will come to the LB will check lot of things. Probably I will be coming to that later on. It will check either my servers are up or no. Okay, monitoring part. Second, it will check either my servers are capable enough or no. Again, monitoring part. Third, it will check which of the server is less utilized. Okay, and on the basis of different parameters that we will be going to discuss in our classes, it will send traffic to one of the server, either server number 1 or server number 2. Whatever server receive the GET request, that server is responsible to sending the response. This point also clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if a device is coming like this, the traffic destination is this maybe server which is hosting an application. Hypothetical, I am just giving some name, abc.com. This PC will go to abc.com and abc.com will give the response. So this would be your request and this would be your response. But when we place a full proxy device in between, please try to understand the response now. F5 LTM. Okay. This is application server. Now, when you have full proxy device, the traffic will not be destined to your server, but the traffic will be destined to your F5. F5 instead create one session on behalf of the client. Again, same things for your response also. So your request is also proxied. Your response is also proxied. This is a full proxy design. So this is your session number 1. This is your session number 2. Any doubt to anybody, please ask.
But why we are calling it a different session altogether when that request remains the same till the last till the server?
That I will explain. Why is the separate story? But what we are doing, are you getting that?
Yes, yes. The session is been sent to the full proxy, and then that full proxy is carrying forward that particular request to the server.
Perfect.
On
Perfect.
behalf of the user.
Perfect. Yes, that is how it is working. Good. Now, let's come to the why part. Okay. We have the why part. Give me a minute. Okay. So here in this diagram, maybe a little bit smaller, please excuse. In this diagram, you can see this side is client. This is your F5, which is maintaining a full proxy. This side is the server. So these are the three components. I hope you can able to see that. When we are checking, there is a TCP handshake which is running in between client and F5. Then F5 is also generating a TCP handshake between F5 and server. Which IP it will bring up, what would be the destination net, what would be the source net. Again, long story. I will be gonna explain you each and everything using the Wireshark. I will show you each and every packet. Don't worry. Okay. Using lot of commands, Wireshark, everything I will show you. But for now, because it is a demonstration class, I do have limitation. I will be just explaining in the theory. So here, if you see, there are two TCP handshakes. First thing. Second thing, the first use is it can view the traffic and modify the traffic behavior. Clear? This first advantage. Now F5 is eligible to view the traffic and modify the traffic. Now why it is required? Probably I am going to explain you. Let me just, this is first use. Let us say your clients are on IP version 6 and your server are on IP version 4. Since it is maintaining two different sessions, very much possible. Vice versa also. Yeah. If your client is IPv4 and server is IPv6, again, it is possible. Second, not much use in today's scenario because there is a SDN thing now. Okay, software defined networking, and everything is moving to the internet in a secured manner. So WAN congestion is no more there. Okay, we can say that it is little bit eliminated now. So this was in earlier days, it was very crucial point that if you are coming with some of the WAN, so if client is coming through the slow WAN, then, and from the WAN there is a server, then from here to here, client to F5, you can use the compression, Z-zip, deflate, whatever. And in between F5 to server, this would be the uncompressed traffic. Okay, uncompressed. It means your server resource are not getting utilized for the compression or decompression. Make sense? 2 points. Okay for you guys? Okay. Move to the third. Very important point. What happened is, for this again, I can speak maybe for 6 hours, but as the time is very limited, I would be gonna explain in few minutes. So when a client interact with any of the application server over the internet is dark web. You also know there is a lot of vulnerabilities. You cannot interact in the plain text. You should be using HTTPS. S stands for security. When the security comes, this security is provided using the certificates. For the certificates, again, what is the root chain? What is the intermediate chain? What is the SSL handshake? Probably I would be gonna explain about SSL handshake, about how to raise the CSR, okay, the signing request, certificate signing request. What is self-signed certificate? How we can take it from some of the signing authority or certificate authority, okay? That I will be gonna explain in later on classes. But currently, just I am giving you the overview that we required certificates. And when we required certificates, it means every communication would be encrypted. And it is the server whose resource would be used for an encryption. And again, when it is sending back, it need to send in the encrypted way. Correct? But since our F5 device is a full proxy, that is not required. Reason, F5 and server residing in own data center. our data center. Man in middle attack within our data center, chances are very less, very rare. So in your environment, this can be configured. Maximum time, it is the way like what is configured, but there are a lot of other ways which I would be going to explain you in the classes. So in this case, what happened from the client to the F5, thing would be encrypted. From the F5 till the server, thing would be unencrypted. Any question? So whatever the keys, whatever the stuff is, all of those things will be imported on F5. Now F5 is the key taker, and such scenario is named as SSL offloading, by the way. So SSL offloading is done on F5 now. Any question? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, sure. So this is one of the more benefit. Similarly, if we are receiving layer 7 data and we need to modify the data in terms of, let us say, headers, we need to insert XFF header. Okay, we need to do some more tweaking. There are a lot of things which we can do. We can modify that data also. And here comes one more feature from your F5, which only F5 claim that such of the functionality only F5 product is providing, named as iRule. Very important, very efficient. Only a few people, talk about much of the iRules, but I would be like giving you more than 5 iRules, and I will be giving you the tricks like how you can write down your own iRule whenever it is required, practically, not theoretically, right? Everything will be practical. By the way, you guys will get your own lab. Okay, these are the complementary lab, and you need to do all of the practical by your own self. Now, what is iRule? iRule, if I will say, is bit like a program. It is bit like a programming language or a scripting language of F5, which depends upon some of the events. Okay. Again, there is 2 hours or more than 2 hours of class on the iRule when I will be going to explain you about each and every component. But for now, you just understand, if we have a router has some sort of functionality which it can provide to the customer. But in case of XYZ company, they have their own requirement that, okay, I want to behave router in such a scenario like that. There is a scenario and there is a condition like such outcome I require. If this router is from Cisco, let us say, okay, again, hypothetically, maybe name ABC company. Okay. If this router is from some ABC company, this company will say, boss, I cannot create router on your demand. Okay. You have only, if you have a bulk order, probably I can change in my OS, but for you, maybe 2 or 3 routers, I cannot do anything. But what F5 does, F5 people very smart. What they said is, these are the functionalities of my product, okay, which I am providing. But on the top of that, if you are not satisfied with any of the scenario and you want to modify the working of my software, I am giving you a functionality named as iRule. You can create your own scripting language and you can modify the working of F5 device. Getting my point? It run in the TCL, tool command line language. Okay, very easy. When I will talk about the syntax of the TCL, probably first 30 minutes, you will get to know that, okay, what is the syntax and how I need to write down the iRules. Again, over the internet, probably you can see my one more video, which is very liked by people. Let me show you. Just give me a minute. That bye iRule, because multiple of people afraid of this programming language. Bye iRule. So if you see, this is my video. Probably you guys can watch out. Okay, because F5 is providing something named as LTP, local traffic policy. I would be going to explain about each and everything. Okay, but yeah, you can see here, bye bye I rule is one of the video which is very liked by multiple of the people from across the world. Okay, so we can write down I rules, or if you are not okay with I rules, probably I will be giving you some alternate. Okay, not efficient like the I rule, but yeah, you can do a lot of things using that named as LTP. So we will be gonna cover all of these things. So far, any doubt to anyone, please feel free to ask. No? Okay. So maybe let me talk about the packet flow. Here in this slide, I just add this slide just for your people to understand what would be the packet flow when we are placing the F5 in between. So if you see, there is a client. This client is coming to the internet. From the internet, it is going to the F5, which IP probably I will be going to explain about them later on, okay, in our classes. But it is named as VIP. And from VIP, there is something which is binded up. These are all the servers which are, maybe hosting a domain, let us say abc.com application. Okay. And there are 4 servers for this application. Any of the server, wherever the client will come, that server will provide the answer. It is named as pool, and these are pool members. These are the 4 pool members. So these are the components which will be used in maybe I will say overall these are the this is the high by overview. Okay, there can be a number of things in between, like if it is coming from the internet, it can come from the intranet, it can come through the SDN thing or something, maybe DMVPN, maybe IPsec tunnel or whatever way. Okay, eventually it will come to our data center. And before that also there can be a number of components which are checking the DDoS or probably lot of other attacks. Okay, but I am not like explaining about those, because here we are talking about LTM. So I would be talking about LTM functionality. So if you see here, these are the components which are being used eventually, okay, when our LTM is in use. So if you see request, how the request will made, see that here is the traffic flow. Now, probably a couple of the people are aware about it. If no, that's also fine. I will gonna explain about this thing. This is PC, which is acting as a source. This is source IP. So in request 1, which is coming from your PC to F5, right? Because F5 is a full proxy, you are aware. Now, F5 has some IP. You can see this is the VIP IP. It would be a destination and there would be a source. So source would be PCIP with some random high order port. Destination would be your VIP IP with port, whatever VIP IP is configured. Okay, what are these VIP IP? What are these ports? Probably I will be going to explain later on in the classes. Okay, but for now you just see that it is virtual IP. Okay, so this is your first packet, packet number 1. How packet number 2 will go? From here, again, there is a disclaimer. Okay, this is half story. Probably later on, I would explain, I would challenge this traffic flow also, and I will give you some another traffic flow, but this is also correct. Later on, the request will move how? Source would be same, but the destination will get changed from the VIP to one of the server. Any of the lucky server can be there. Let us say this is the server. So it is moving to the server 1. End-to-end request packet flow is clear to everybody? If no, please ask. I am happy to answer you.
So F5 should be always like an as a like an inline device over here.
No.
Hello.
No. Answer is no.
Okay.
Okay. Maximum time, yes. But if you will say always, then no. Okay. Maximum time, yes. Maybe I will say 90% of your. Okay, maybe you wanted to ask something else. Let me.
So
talk
let's say
about
when we are designing,
No,
so
no, no.
like where
I
exactly
got your
will-
point. I got your point. Wait for a minute. I am telling you. See, there are two modes named as 1-arm mode and 2-arm. Okay. So what you are asking is that F5 is in inline like this, right?
Yeah.
Huh. So you can have two scenarios. This is very important for your migration. I would be gonna explain about that. But since you asked, let me, maybe I need to explain about one more thing then. Okay, let me tell you about that thing. Probably then I will come to this. So in your F5, there are mainly 4 VLANs that we use. Okay, 4 VLANs. Understand it, please. One is for the client traffic. It is named as external VLAN. Okay. One is going towards your server. It is named as internal VLAN. One is for the device management, and one is for your high availability. Maybe you can say as an HA. Is this part clear? There are 4 VLANs. Now what happened? This is the 2-arm architecture, what I am explaining. But let us say there is some requirement that every traffic should be moving through firewall, either it is in or out. And I don't want two interface to use. What I can do is I can use F5 like this. That even for my internal and even for my external, same interface I am using. Such kind of scenario is named as 1-arm mode. Probably I will be gonna talk about it more, but yeah, this is a very small answer for your question. Is it fine, Samir, for you?
Okay.
And if you see this design, it is bit like your maybe I don't know if you guys have heard about it or not. Router on stick. Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
Earlier days, actually, maybe at my time, we used to configure it during the certification also. Router on the stick in the Cisco. Okay. So same thing we are using here, named as 1-arm mode. Okay, what I was explaining to you. I was talking about the request. So request, I hope, is clear to you, everybody. Again, there is a disclaimer. This would be the end-to-end traffic flow, yes or no? I would say no. Okay, why? Probably I will explain about that later on in the classes. But for now, this is the half story, and it is also correct. How the response will go? Response will go to the F5 and from F5 to the client. Okay, but again, if server has a default gateway as a router, then what happened to the traffic? Traffic will fail. What we can do, I will explain, but later on, not in today's class. Okay, there are a lot of other scenarios. Probably I would be gonna give you insight about each scenario, but later on. Okay, now if you see the certification part, okay, so you would be having the very basic certification 101, in which you will receiving an email from F5 that okay, you successfully succeeded in this. Then you can go for 201, where you would be a CA, certified administrator, and then you can move to 301. 301 is your, maybe you can say, advanced LTM thing. When we are covering this, I would be covering this part. Okay, then this is for your DNS or GTM, what I was talking you earlier. This is for your advanced web or ASM. Okay, application policy manager it can be. access policy manager it can be, and then there can be some certified, more maybe advanced, I would say, certificates you can go with. When it's come to the lab, as I told you, I would be giving the lab to every individual. They have their own port as a complimentary access, 24/7 accessible, access as per your time during the whole course, and maybe more 10 days I can provide you. That's not an issue. So you would receive your own lab. Whenever we are covering any topic, I will be covering it through the lab. Okay, I would be giving you the example through the lab, because technology is not such a thing that I can give you the water and you can drink it, right? It's not like that. It would be, you need to make your hands dirty. You need to run the lab. You need to make your own lab. You need to see like how to do the licensing, how to do the provisioning, what are the server form, what all the stuff we need to do. Okay, so those all things you need to create by your own. Okay, and that is how your understanding, your troubleshooting skills will get increased. Otherwise, troubleshooting, some people come to me, okay, just teach me the troubleshooting. I don't want to go through the course. Boss, troubleshooting is an approach. I cannot teach you that, right? It is an approach, and how this approach will build up when you have the grip on the individual topics, right? If you don't know about the monitors and there is something falling on your monitors, you will say that, okay, tell me the troubleshooting. These are not some commands. This is an approach which you can understand by building up your own foundation, right? So again, you will get this lab. Individual person will have lab.
So this is, if this is like a virtual lab, so is there any like a feature limitation over here that this particular feature will not work, or we can practice like each and every stuff?
Yes, you can. You can. So if I provide you the free license keys, okay, you can generate that. How to generate, I would explain you about those stuff also. But yeah, you can do it by your own. So you will receive the training. Like this is not for the F5 only, but if you talk about the CCI enterprise, you talk about the CCI security, ACI, or whatever course. Every trainer is a professional person, okay, who is working in the industry. So you will get a trainer who is a working professional. Lab access, I have already provided you. Lab guides you will receive. You will get a lot of study material so that you can get, you can read about that later on also. And on the top of that, you will get all the session gets recorded. You will get the recording also. Okay. So if one of you may be busy in some P1 or the high priority call, okay, you cannot join the session, but later on you wanted to revise the session, you can just check out through the videos that will get uploaded on the portal on time. You can check on the portal. If you have the mobile, Android, iOS, whatever, you can download our app. You can see in the app also. Okay. Yeah. Last but not the least, you can go to the YouTube's, Google reviews, or wherever. You can just check about our work, okay, because as I told you, we have trained many of the corporates, retail trainings, group trainings, one-on-one trainings, and blah blah blah. That's what from my side. If you wanted to ask any question, house is open. Please do let me know.
I want to ask one question. Let's say if we like enroll for this class, so like how deep we will go into like an LTM? It will just be like a basic or like an intermediate, or till the expert level we will learn each and every stuff.
Yes, you will. Reason is, when we teach, we have three concepts in mind. One is your theory. Theory should be okay. Second, your practical should be okay. Third, your T-shoot should be okay. So that if you have the purpose of growing in your industry, you can do that. If you have the purpose of certification, you can do that. If you have the purpose of migration, you can do that. If you have the purpose of interview, you can crack that. So that is the base what we used to take in these kind of classes.
Okay.
Okay.
And when it comes to like a certification part, so do you provide like the material also over here?
Dumps, no. A big no.
Okay. But it's like available in the market or how it is? Because I'm not sure.
Tricky question. I cannot answer on that. Okay. Let's talk about the teaching, probably. Okay. So let's not deviate the topic.
Okay.
For the practicals,
Mhm.
you'll provide us access to a portal or we
No,
will,
see, can you
install
see
the
this
lab.
lab? Can you see
Yeah.
this lab? What you need to do, just right click. Like Linux server, you need to do configuration on Linux server. Okay. Double click on this and this Linux server will open. So this is a virtual lab, but you can do each and every practical over here. Similarly, maybe F5, right click, this right click, Windows, right click, like that. Okay. So let me show you.
We can run these labs in our machine on our local desktops, right?
Why not?
Okay. And the license
I'm
fees
local,
which
I'm
will
local to the server. That is the reason you are watching out the private IP, but you will have the proper access. Okay.
For the licenses, like F5 will give us, the trial license for a specific period, I think 3 months or something.
Mhm.
So after that, we, if required, will we be, if you want to extend for a few more months, will we be able to regenerate?
You can create a number of mails. You can create a number of license.
Because during the license generation, they'll ask, your company details and all these things.
Who asked you to provide correct?
Okay.
Give ABC.
Okay.
If you need not to mention your correct details, you can say ABC.
Okay, fine.
That depends on you, right? Yeah. Any other question?
Yeah, I have a question here.
Yes, Samir.
My question is a very straightforward question.
Go ahead.
Okay, how much confidence we should put into this particular classes, and like what do you think that how much time we should be taking to get accommodated with this with the knowledge of the complete LTM?
Let me tell you the thing very
Yeah.
honestly, very straightforward, as you are speaking.
And
very straightforward.
just to add one more thing into that question is, what is the industry presence of this particular model or module, I would say?
F5 is leading the industry. In very small words, I would answer your second question. Now let me jump on the first question. I have the people who are CCD, Quad CCIE, okay, from the Egypt, from the Europe, and from the USA, who are coming for F5 as per their own speed. They grasp it and able to migrate in their own organization. But for you people, I can give a benefit, and that benefit is I won't enroll any of other people. And what the benefit you will receive? That whatever questions are there in your organization, probably I will take that up. Nobody is there to stop because you all wanted to get that resolved, right? So I am there to help.
Okay. Okay, so we can discuss the scenario. We can discuss the scenario, right? The real scenario.
You can, again, with a limitation. These things.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Yes. We can talk to the point actually, and then
yes.
Yeah, of course we cannot sit around and we can discuss the complete deployment.
Right.
That is quite understandable.
Yeah. Then if it is okay for you, then yeah, I am happy to answer for everything, whatever you. Okay. Any other question?
And how many like
No, but
duration of hours it will take for like the LTM full batch?
Maybe 24 hours plus, depending upon the speed also, right? Some people have very fast speed. Some people have moderate speed. Some people used to like do the practical in the class only. So depending upon that, it can be plus minus. So I would say 24 hours plus.
So if we like because this we will be going with like a weekend, so it will be like a Saturday Sunday, right?
Friday, Saturday.
Friday Saturday.
Because you people are from Middle East, no?
Yeah, because some are there from Saudi, so over there Friday Saturday is off. But in UAE we have Saturday Sunday. That we can like discuss internally in the group.
See, you discuss about it. Okay. If you like Friday, Saturday, probably we will go with Friday, Saturday. But if you say no, Saturday, Sunday, maybe we can go with Saturday, Sunday. I don't have it. Friday, Saturday, probably there would be a specific time because as I told you, I am also a working professional. I cannot be free for all the day. After the maybe my business hours, I can take the classes. But for Saturday, Sunday, it is my off. I can leverage that. Okay.
Okay.
if we may ask, would you be able to tell us where exactly you're working?
I'm in India. Like if you say that Colt, Orange, Harrison, all of these TCS, these are the organization, right? So
Okay.
we used to move in all of these.
Okay.
I was in Dubai also, but in 2015 and worked for the DU Telecom, right?
Okay.
So these GTM and ASM, APM models are also conducted by you only, or there is like a different trainer for this?
Depending upon you, if you like my teaching style, probably you can go with me. If you want, no, I want other teacher, we can avail some another teacher also.
Okay.
But generally it does not happen. GTM is for DNS, right? Like however DNS request will happen. ASM is really very advanced. It is known as advanced WAF for your layer 7 security feature for all the vulnerabilities which are maybe major vulnerabilities for your OWASP top 10, right? Or maybe not only OWASP top 10, lot of other vulnerabilities. It get mitigated with the ASM. And this is a digital world and digitalization. Every application is moving to the digitalization, right? Even the small business also going towards the digitalization. So it is very much required to put the security. Your traditional firewalls are failed, where they get fails. Maybe ASM is the one which is the robust product, which is in between the hacker and your server securities. So again, very powerful products, both of them, GTM and ASM.
Okay. What I was saying is, actually, in my organization, we are basically looking out for a solution of protecting a bandwidth. So, like this, I heard there is some kind of a solution is associated with the big F5, which also does the work of DDoS protection. So is it there?
There is, even if I will say ASM also work on the DDoS, but not not a good design for the ASM, because if your attack is reaching till ASM, it means you are not providing the correct DDoS, right? So DDoS solution should be at very beginning, or it should be at the front end, right? Like the
No. See, actually, DDoS, though, DDoS, none of the device can manage, okay, because it's a huge traffic.
right.
But what I'm saying is the detection part can be managed with this LTM. The
No,
mitigation cannot happen because
no,
you cannot mitigate the huge amount of traffic.
it can be mitigated. It can be mitigated using the ASM. I can show you during the ASM labs if you guys will come. Okay, it can be. Even the
Okay,
board.
so you would say,
even the board.
you're saying that in ASM the we can mitigate the DDoS.
Yes, why not? Even the bot defense is there. Okay, that if you have some of the traffic which is generated by your browser only, but it is some abnormal traffic, even it can detect that and it can mitigate that as well. It will stop there then and there.
So what is the maximum CPU capacity we have in the appliance?
It depends what appliance you are taking up.
Yeah, because I'll tell you the traffic
You need to go to the data sheets, right? You need to read about all of the documents. As per your transaction per seconds or maybe other parameters, you can decide one of the like model and you can go with that.
Okay. No, because I have been in touch with Tata Communications for this. Okay. So
Okay.
they have an entirely different solution, completely different solution for the DDoS. They have their own centers where they basically divert the DDoS traffic and then they mitigate it over there. So that's why I was asking you, what is the maximum CPU capacity this appliance can have? Because the appliance cannot handle that much amount of traffic. Very recent instances is happened with Microsoft. Microsoft was bombarded with more than 3 TB of DDoS attack. 3 terabytes of DDoS attack, which they were able to mitigate with the help of the telcos.
Mm-hmm. What is your question, sir?
No, my question is if this particular appliance can handle the DDoS. You said in ASM, right?
LTM, no. LTM cannot. LTM is not built for that. Even ASM is also not built for that. Let me tell you. Even ASM is also not built for that. What it does is, let us say there is your application, right? Your application has some traffic. Okay. It can be any traffic, maybe some million of traffic. I am just taking X million traffic per second. Okay. What it does, it just see that what kind of increase is there. Let us say if increase is 10%, and these are not your sale things which is running on, or maybe abnormal traffic is coming 10% or 15%, you are just putting the capping. If 15% of traffic is coming, it will just block.
Okay.
Again, I am saying these are not dedicated for your DDoS stuff, right? But yeah, it can be mitigated on the AS.
Okay. Does it also have
detect some malware and can block it like how our next generation firewall does?
It can. There are some more features they are introducing nowadays. Okay, but mainly it is for layer 7, because it's not like that. If you are putting WAF in picture, there should be always there would be an firewall which is put in front of ASM. So all of these things will be taken care.
Not for the ASM, not for the WAF. I'm talking about this LTM device.
No. See, LTM is, as I told you, LTM is not a security device, right?
Okay.
It's a load balancer.
Bit like you can say. More
it's a load balancer. It can balance the. Okay, coming to that point, when it comes to the load balancing, so it will only load balance the traffic on the basis of the kind of traffic, or I know we cannot talk a lot in depth actually.
Go ahead. What is your question?
Yeah, my question is, see, when we say that this device is for the purpose of load balancing the traffic, right? And as you said that this will act as a full proxy, right? It will forward and give the response on source and destination's behalf, right?
Correct.
It's a mediator basically sitting in between the source and the destination.
Correct.
Right. So what I was saying is, so like, what all the criterias are there? Like, when we talk about the load balancer, you just mentioned a DNS thing also. So, I mean, if I have a 10 number of DNSs, okay, in my server farm, so can that also be taken care by this LTM?
Why not? Let us say DNS, let us say proxies, okay, dedicated proxies. Put it behind the LTM. Who is stopping?
No, but I mean, will it get?
See, either it is a good design or no. That I am not speaking up.
No. It's not about design actually.
Yeah.
What kind of a load balancing it will be able to do, and like
It can
what
do
is the
TCP,
scenario?
it can do UDP, it can do HTTP, whatever.
Okay. No, if tomorrow somebody is asking me,
Let us
if
say
tomorrow
for
somebody is asking,
DNS is for your UDP 53. Okay, it is able to handle.
right.
If there is some TCP, it is able to handle. If it is HTTP, port 80, okay, 443, okay, 8080, okay, anything doesn't matter.
Okay. Got it.
Yep.
Thank you.
So
Thanks a lot. And
when
sorry
this
for.
LTM, when like we are placing the LTM, and let's say we have like an encrypted traffic, and like F5 is intercepting that traffic, like how like SSL decryption works, and if it detects something, so it will not take any action.
Detect what?
No,
It will.
let's say if it detects like some malware or something, so
It will
work
not.
just like an IDS.
It will not detect anything. Reason. ASM is the module which will do the detection.
Okay.
LTM is, let us say, if it is an LTM is only responsible for SSL encryption and decryption. It is not detecting anything.
Okay.
Getting my point?
Mm-hmm.
For that, ASM.
Okay.
Yes.
So in the industry, like if we need to like purchase like a separate box, like for this, like for load balancer, we will purchase LTM. For wrap, we purchase some.
License. It is the license fee.
So it's only like a box. On top of it, we need to just add the license.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Licensing and provisioning both. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Any other questions from anybody?
Like what are the topics we are going to cover in like the classes? If you like enroll over here.
Yeah. If you will go to the netminion.net, okay. Excuse me. You just go to the courses, just go to the LTM. Under the LTM, if you will scroll down, you just please download the syllabus and you can check the topics. And again, if you wanted to remove some, add some, don't worry, flexible to do that.